G'day boys, gals and pals. Welcome to Lockdown Lovin. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country throughout Australia and from where we are filming. I would like to recognise the continuing connection to lands, waters and community. And I pay my respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture and to the elders past, present and emerging. Now, boys, gals and pals, this is Lockdown Lovin', the chat show I created to get 45 minutes to an hour away from my parents. I am Justin Thomas, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm here to excite, titillate, repulse, and quite possibly bore you. We will find out. Now, welcoming my first guest. I have my friend, Elysia. Yay, hi.
Ooh, thank you for that welcome.
Well, that's not quite the welcome yet.
Oh, really?
Australian country kid to glam, one of Australia's most formidable Latin dancers and creatives, entrepreneur and Burgundy Army queen. How are you, babe?
That's an amazing introduction. Thank you. I'm really, really great. Thank you. I'm always good when I speak to you.
Oh, stop it. Now, can you explain in your own words, just to begin with, who you are and what you do?
Sure. Well, I like to think that I'm a bit of an entrepreneur these days. First and foremost, a dancer at heart and always have been, always will be. I run La Encantada in Melbourne, which is a beautiful dance school with my wonderful dance partner, Carlos from Argentina. And what else do I do? I also try to run festivals when they don't get cancelled. But we won't talk about that because today is positive and happy. But I also am the director of Rumbia Festival and EA Dance Retreat.
Two amazing events.
Amongst other things. I do, a lot of this and that. And have I missed anything? I live in country Victoria, so I'm not quite a Melbourneite, I guess, which is a bit of a surprise to some people. But yeah, I love living in the country. I'm a bit of a country girl at heart with, like you said in the introduction, a love of all things sparkly and...
Oh, 100%. We're just magpies. That's all we are.
100% we are. That's it. Anything that glitters is going to catch my attention. Or anything a little bit pretty, like yourself.
Oh, stop it. On that note, I think it's time for a shot.
Oh, okay.
I just randomly found this one just sitting here.
But I prepared earlier.
Oh, wow. Cheers, babe.
1, 2, 3. Oh.
And then a chaser?
Yeah, here's something else I found.
Did we come prepared or what?
I think this is called the Lockdown Lovin' with Justin Thomas and a little bit of shots and Shiraz.
Well, it's different for everyone. Everyone that's going to be on the show, it's going to be different. I just wanted to do general things that, we would normally do. So like as artists, we'll do our makeup together.
100%.
We'll drink together. Yeah. We'll have deep and meaningfuls while we just sit there and pretend like we're not about to scream. Have you seen that video of the Grinch in the yoga class? And she's like, release all of your tension, and the Grinch just starts screaming.
No, I haven't seen it.
I feel like that's all of us.
Yeah, probably. Well, I actually feel like I'm kind of getting ready at a congress right now. We're having chats in our hotel room. I'm in my comfy clothes. Yes. Just had a little sip of wine. Maybe we'll start doing some makeup soon or get our skin ready. Yeah, feeling very relaxed.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Burgundy. Why?
I don't know where that came from. The whole brand kind of came... I was actually in Mexico when I created La Encantada, would you believe? And I was in a hotel room by myself looking at the beach and just started creating this brand, which was based at the time around a group of women. So I guess classes for women. And I've always just had a bit of an affection, an infatuation perhaps with burgundy. I just like the color. I think it's very classic. And that's just kind of where the brand came from, I guess. That color is what we're kind of known for now.
Yes.
And then that's just sort of flown into some of the stuff that we wear when we go to comps and such. And so, yeah, last time we were out and about at a big comp with all our students, we got called the Burgundy Army, which I kind of like. It's kind of.
But then you've just grabbed it and rolled with it.
I'm just going with that. Yeah, I love it. So I'm like, everything. We're just like the purple school now, or the Burgundy school.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, in terms of stuff that's keeping you busy during lockdown, okay. So today we're loving ourselves. So I want to have a quick chat about some of the things that you're doing to get through lockdown. TV, all of it is. Now, I know you really enjoyed Hack. You actually recommended it to me.
Yes, yeah.
I'm one episode in and it is fabulous.
Yeah, yes.
And outrageous. When she storms out of that, out of the restaurant, I was just like, talk about an exit.
Yeah, I know. Create a scene. Yeah.
So what do you look for in your personal entertainment? When you go looking for shows, when you go scrolling through Netflix, what are you looking for?
Well, I'm a little bit particular, I guess, but I'm very also like, I have like a lot of different tastes. So I really liked that particular show because, well, I'd read about it more than anything, and it just sounded like a little bit fab, a little bit drama, a little bit stage, a bit of everything that I love. So I'm kind of one of those people that loves that kind of like classic cheesy kind of over the top.
She likes camp. She likes the camp.
100%. Or like murder mysteries where I have to find out who killed who.
Oh, 100%. You go from gay camp like dramas, and then suddenly you're in like Hannibal and you're just like eating flesh, just ready for it.
Maybe not that far, but yeah. I think, but I am quite particular, and I found I sort of binge on shows that I really love or nothing at all, and I'll try and stay away from the screen. I think because a lot of what I do day to day is on the screen anyway, so I try as much as I can to get away from that. So I'm not such a TV kind of movie junkie, but when I find something good, I'm in like a binge, watch all day, stay in bed kind of person.
Oh, I'm 100% the same. When it comes to television, I'm very, very particular. So then when it comes to actually watching something, if I can't find something, I get so frustrated, and then I just shut down the laptop. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. We're going to be doing today a bunch of skincare.
Yes.
That's why we're both living life filter free, loving it. You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I feel like both of us peeled off our masks from last time we spoke to each other online, and it's kind of nice. I like to encourage that sometimes. Honestly, I prefer to be, I'm like, this is who I am. Yep.
And now I'm just like,
we talked about this last time. Let's not bring the double chins back in. I'll be for your face. I need to work harder.
Of course I would bring that for you. So what hair did you bring? Oh, she's ready. Yes, let's do it. Look, I'm going all red from the tequila already.
Still dancing, trying to keep our beautiful students active. So recording content for them, like I know you have been. We have such a great kind of collection of teachers now with La Encantada, and each of them have their own kind of specialty, and which is really nice. I can just let them do their thing, and I have my areas that I specialize in. So we really have a nice variety of classes going on now.
Yeah, and also the talent in Victoria.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We just we have a lot of amazing, we have our amazing local artists, but also all these amazing internationals that are kind of here with us at the moment, like Mario, Carlos, Almendra and Richie. Who else is here? There's a lot of people that are kind of not trapped, but let's say trapped in Melbourne.
A little bit, like a little bit.
It's good for us. So
yeah, snatch it up while you can.
At the moment, I'm trying to create some more content for online, I think, and also not just through the school, but also another little side project I've had going for a while. It's called Let's Dance Basics. So it's at the moment it's just an Instagram account, and it's full of
Do I not know about this?
Maybe not. Maybe not. It's like a little secret project I had going on. Another
Spill
little
the
thing.
tea on Lockdown Lovin'. Tell us everything. I love this.
Just I feel like our industry, in terms of the Latin scene, and the salsa industry especially, is full of amazing talent, but it's kind of offering a level of classes, especially online. We see a lot of artists offering shines or combinations that are incredible to watch, but very unattainable for newer dancers.
Especially at home.
Yeah, and I've kind of thought, why not come in from the other end of the scale? Because no one's really, which is something we've seen a lot through my school, is the importance of teaching fundamentals properly from the ground up. And I think coming from a ballet and a classical kind of background and training, we value the importance of good technique, of learning things properly from the beginning. So, and I don't really feel like, yeah, there's
I have to.
Huh?
I hated ballet. Hated.
No,
I think I did. I really, really did. And I think I skipped ballet a few times. And when I was growing up, and then I dropped it, and then I was back in the freaking tights when I went to full-time dance, and I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I think it's super, super important. And it's so, I mean, you would be grateful now, I'm sure, of having had that training, maybe.
I've definitely, I think there was a few years where I was like, yes. And then I went, when I was in Turkey, my fellow lead in Romeo and Juliet, the show that we were doing there, was a contemporary dancer from Italy, and she had the most beautiful lines. And I was like, how am I supposed to dance against this bitch? Like, I've got to do all of these numbers with her.
That's how I feel with Carlos.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. You're amazing. You together, stop it.
No one kicked higher than me in Australia until he arrived. So anyway.
I mean, look, I'm stretching. I'm working on it. I really am, I promise. What artists are inspiring you at the moment, and why?
Ooh, I have a kind of a bit of a eclectic, combination of, it's kind of around dance, but also business and people I see that are doing a great thing for our scene, versus just people I admire. So Adolfo Indocochea, I don't know if I said his surname right. Adolfo I've always been a huge fan of because I love his mambo style.
Yes.
And I just, I've trained with him before in the past, and I just admire that he is such a great dancer. He seems like he's got an amazing work ethic. Like, he works really hard, and he just builds now builds an empire, which is his name of his new school in New York, Empire Mambo. It just seems like, I mean, that's from the outside in, of course, but he just seems like he's doing a great thing and setting a really great example for the Mambo community, especially. But then I flip to someone like Paris Scovell, I think her surname is originally from New Zealand, with the royal family.
Yes.
And I mean, she's an incredible dancer and artist, but more so her choreography just blows my mind. It's like the way that she creates formations and changes in music, and I'm just in awe of somebody like that, because I can't get my team into a diagonal and there's 10 of them, let alone the stuff that I see with her with 40 dancers on stage doing these intricate kind of.
You've got to remember, the dancers that she's using are professional dancers and really highly advanced students.
This is true. My students are wonderful.
Your students are beautiful. I think she calls her style poly swag. Then she's got this really cool, I don't know, it's just the way she moves her body. I just look at her and I'm just like, can I be you?
It's all her whole attitude and the way that she performs as well. She's just like, she does in interviews seem quite, down to earth and humble.
Which, to be honest, annoys me. It annoys me, the house down boots. If you're going to be that successful, at least be horrible so I can hate you. Now I've got to still continue to love you. Oh,
I mean, they're a huge contrast to each other, those two artists, but I don't know. There's a million that I could list, for different reasons. And even our own local artists, really, to be honest, everyone's doing so well, especially in this climate, just trying to keep going, yourself doing this, creating this content, and this new idea. I just love seeing people using initiative and trying new things, just being like, let's do it, why not?
Oh, 100%. And I love that as well. It took me a while. I've been feeling really unmotivated.
Yeah, but I think that's normal.
And so when I thought of this idea, I think it was, I just messaged a bunch of people and just said, hey, do you want to film this? And including yourself. And you were just like, yeah, I'm keen, I'm in. And then a week later, we're now filming, the poster's been released. I'm shirtless on it. Don't I look great?
You look amazing in it.
If you haven't seen the poster, jump onto the gram.
Some of the catchphrases as well, like raved by Justin Thomas or something like that.
Oh, 5 stars. I love listening to Justin talk.
No one ever.
No one ever. Yeah.
I love it.
I had a lot of help on that poster by my best friend Bria, and she was just like, I was like, I want to put 5 stars on it and put no one ever. And she's like, that doesn't make sense. So then she came up with I love listening to Justin talk, and she came up with the proudly raved about by Justin Jarrett, which I thought that was the most obnoxious thing, and I was just like, get it, why not? And if you don't like it,
I can't wait to have one of those fans myself.
Oh, look, you can get them everywhere, all around the world. Speaking of all of around the world,
yes,
what's your favorite country that you've traveled to?
That's a nice segue.
Thank you so much. I was just thinking about it.
Well, I'm lucky. I've traveled quite a lot. Well, I used to travel quite a lot, not anymore. Now it's just around my house.
Oh, this afternoon I'm bored in the hallway, and I'm getting off in the bedroom, and then I'm going to board back on the hallway, and it's going to transfer me, believe it or not, technology these days, to the bathroom. I have trips planned.
You are ready. Pack your bags, sir. What were we talking about? Oh yes, countries. I think I would say Scotland. Scotland was beautiful and just felt wild, like wilderness. Like going out into the Highlands of Scotland was one of the coolest. Like I went to Loch Ness and Inverness and just had a crazy time out there with some friends in the middle of nowhere. And drove around the Highlands of Scotland with a tent from Aldi and camped on the side of the road a couple of times,
You know what? You can't go past Audi though for some.
I went to a beautiful island off the coast of Athens called Idra, and it's just like warm water, mojitos, like cool lounge music playing.
Oh, she's doing these ones. She's doing these like, oh.
Just picture myself in the sun with my sunglasses. Another mojito, walk down the steps, have a little swim, walk back up, listen to the lounge.
Another mojito.
Yes. And the weather and the food, and yeah, I love Greece. Greece would probably be my number one at the moment. Honestly, it's just.
I love the Mediterranean. Yes,
I think it's something about the food, the late nights, warm weather, eating, the people. Yeah.
Oh, and it's so far away. That's also for me part of the appeal. I'm like, when I was young, I was like, get me out of here, like I was just like,
saying get me out of here when I was younger. I'm like, how, you're like 12. No, 26.
Thank you. I am 12. Stop it. Now, speaking of when I was 12, I was dumb. So we're going to segue into Justin's dumb questions. All right. Technology you can't go without.
My iPhone.
Favorite color?
Green.
What's one thing people think about you that's wrong?
Resting bitch face, maybe.
Oh, me too, hon. Me too. If you could be an animal for one day, what animal would that be?
Probably have to be a cat. I love cats.
Yeah, fair.
I want. all day.
Oh, yeah. And then even when you get anything you want, you don't have to be nice to your owners.
And I'll be like, yeah, okay, F you.
Where were you born?
I was born in Melbourne in Box Hill. Ooh, fancy.
Woo-hoo. If you had to spend the rest of your life in one place, where would it be?
Let's go back to the Mediterranean, I think. I love Australia. Well, I used to love Australia. At the moment,
I love Australia, but I'm so ready to go overseas.
all of us. Phew.
Yeah. One word to describe yourself.
This is hard. One word to describe myself. Loving.
Love, which very true.
Let's say
Very
that's
true.
probably what I will disagree with that later. But anyway, let's just go with that.
It depends on how many shots she's had. Favorite animal?
My other option was loca or crazy, but I was like, what am I myself here?
I would 10 out of 10 say crazy bitch for me.
Okay, let's go. I'll go with crazy bitch. Crazy.
Favorite animal?
Cat and horse.
Beautiful. If your life was a movie, what would yours be called right now?
Get me out of here. Not right this moment, but
the shade. Oh my goodness.
no, I don't mean this show, but I just mean
yeah, no, just
you're gonna cry wine. I'm sorry.
What's one thing that you're really good at outside of your profession and your art?
I'm kind of good at anything that's computer based, so IT related. So it's Photoshop or websites or graphic.
IT guru.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a computer nerd.
Oh, I love that.
That's right. And riding horses is the other secret thing I'll throw in there.
I'm gonna get into that later. The riding of the horses. The riding of the horses.
Are we going Daryl Braithwaite now?
100%.
The horses, yeah.
That was me also singing. I don't know if you noticed me going, yeah, while I was laughing, but that was me joining in. One place you want to go but have never been?
South America, would you believe?
Really?
It's a sin. Yes, I'm a salsa teacher and I've never been to South America. I'm sorry. My husband's French, so I keep going and spending all my money going to Europe. I promise I'm coming, Argentina.
As soon as the borders open. Zombie apocalypse is here. Everyone's dead. We're all yas. Just ruined, mate. Just yas. Gone. So what we're going to do is I've set up a team.
Why is your accent changed?
It's gone more bogan than it already is. I've set up a team of elite specialists. And what we're going to do is we're going to get out of this alive. And you've got 2 minutes to tell me why I should let you in my team and not just leave you here for dead.
Okay.
And then we're going to go wash our faces off.
I'm like dripping. Sorry, everybody. I'm like melting.
You look, but if it's any consolation, you're glowing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I have, Justin, I think you should take me with you because I have 460 cases of red wine stored in this tent behind and another 60 bottles of gin, whiskey and tequila. And I'm going to look after your troops. And I've also got all of these Swarovski diamantes. So we're going to look fabulous while we do it. Is that
You know what? Well, no, firstly, love it. Also, in my head, when I was writing this question, I swear to you that I was like, she's going to mention wine.
It's what I know. My husband's a winemaker. I don't know if people know that. So that's my excuse for talking about wine and enjoying my wine all the time.
Yeah, but we love it.
We do. It's fabulous.
And I would like to formally invite you to the team.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're now going to survive, and it's because of me.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
Everyone at home, we'll see you in 3, 2, 1. Oh shit. And we're back. All right. What did your parents do for a living?
Funny enough, they were both flying instructors, so they worked in aviation.
Can you fly a plane?
No, I can't. I did start to learn to fly when I was younger, but I'd never sort of pursued it. So funny, yeah, my brother and I were quite creative, and they're a lot more sort of, aviation, engineering,
Logical thinking.
Yeah. So, and I am like that to a degree, but I'm definitely more a left brain creative kind of type. Yeah.
I love, and I've told you this multiple times, I love watching you perform. The sass, the energy, the sex, but also just the groove just gets me going every time. You just walk on stage, literally take over, and then you're so gracious and smiley when you bow, and then you're just like, oh.
Isn't that the best bit? It's like the capturing of the audience's attention when you first hit the stage, right? It's one of the first things that it's not one of the first things. It's one of the things I teach my students is like, you need to grab that attention from the minute your foot hits the floor. And yeah, the dancing and the routine, but it's like the commanding of that. Look at me.
Yeah. As someone who does understand, how would you describe that to someone in the simplest, in layperson terms? Muggles. We're talking non-artistic folk. Yes, I'm sorry, I called you all muggles.
As in the feeling, or as in how to do that?
Both. How would you describe it?
The feeling is like nothing else. I mean, you're always so nervous before that moment, but it's something about, and it's been a new experience for me going back to with dancing with Carlos, is like having the security almost sometimes of having someone on stage with you versus being a soloist, which I was for a long time. So there's good and bad to both, because then you're having to rely on somebody else too, but there's nothing else like it. And especially when you feel fabulous, when you've put in the work, that you look great in your costume, and you kind
You're
of
about to put on a show.
It's just kind of that nice feeling of everyone being like, ooh.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't get when you go to Coles.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Sales would just go through the roof, especially at the moment in lockdown, if they just had people stand there and wolf whistle, which actually, no, maybe not wolf whistle, that's kind of weird, but you get the drift of what I'm saying. Yeah. Like just stand there and just like politely, very respectfully hype bitches up as they walk through Coles, like that would be such a marketing ploy.
But I mean, we don't really get that level of, I guess it's a level of attention why we do this, right? It's a very vain kind of thing. You want to be noticed. You want to be, especially when you're a performer or a competitor. So it is a very hard thing to bring out of muggles, as you call them. A certain level of confidence or character, perhaps, that you need to instill in somebody. So
on that note of the muggles, I think and this I've sectioned this off so it sounds really bitchy, but it's not. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing for me is the moment that you decide to pursue an art, even just as a hobby, you are no longer a muggle. Mm. You might be an apprentice, but honey, you magical because you've made that decision to lighten up your life in anything that gives you purpose, mission, and just passion, and I would encourage everyone to not be a muggle.
I think that's important. And I had a student say to me a while ago, I dance rather than I'm a dancer. And I was like, why segregate? Like, I think starts instilling like maybe I'm an artist versus I paint, or
Yeah. When did you take kind of ownership of the word artist? Because for a lot of artists specifically, it's really confronting for someone to be like, who are you, or what do you do? And to have the word artist or creative or whatever you go for, how did you come across discovering that kind of label that people put on us?
Yeah. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of comes with a little bit of I don't know, it validates in a sense, maybe created certain type of validation for me, is like, I'm not just doing this as a hobby anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of what you mean.
Did someone else call you an artist first, and then that's how you approached it? Or did you approach it from, I want to be an artist, I've trained, I'm now an artist?
I think from the other way around, it's kind of like we, back in the day, were, you know, kind of offered, well, I did approach festivals, I remember, you know, asking more so for an opportunity to perform more as a couple or a soloist, and or teach a workshop, but I didn't label myself as an artist. I was just like, I am this person, I would like this opportunity. And I think it kind of just grew from there once you've started doing a few events and festivals where you have your own performance slot or your own workshop. Perhaps that's when the idea starts being like, well, actually, you know, people recognize me as this. And I kind of fought my way in, you know, like,
I mean,
both of us have come from that.
I mean, you might have fought your way in. I feel like I walked in, unloaded all of my baggage, and then just went, hi. Like, you know, like I honestly just feel like I kind of just walked in and then I just haven't left.
Yeah. But I kind of, I would, you popped up like that for me too. And I think we talked about this the other day, is like, I first saw you, I'll remember you from Sydney a few years back at an event we went to. I was like, who this bitch? Never seen him before. This pretty white boy with beautiful blonde hair.
Yes.
And yeah, for me, I mean, everyone sees it differently from the outside in, but I know that I had to work, you know, to get where I am now, and I still work. And that's what I try to instill in my students and whoever I work with. It's like, keep working, keep developing yourself, keep taking class, you can't sit and rest on what you've done. It doesn't work like that, I don't think.
So on that note, just to bring it back to the general conversation of what like, you know, your upbringing and everything like that, what role did dance play for you in terms of shaping you as an adult and as a human being?
I think it was a huge role. It has played a huge role in my life. From my parents, I'm hugely grateful for them for getting me into dancing, into ballet when I was quite young, like 3 or 4, you know, the kindy top kind of stuff. But that kind of instilled, you know, and I was going a lot. So it's like this discipline, dedication, creativity, musicality from a very young age. And that kind of focused mindset. And it can go both ways. It's very good it applies to a lot of things in life, but it can also make you very self-critical. And then I kind of had a second wind of that after my mum passed away in 2007. I'd left dance for a little while, and she was quite young when we lost her. So it was kind of, for me, a bit of a kick up the ass to get back to that, and to think now. And that's really, that was kind of the one thing that made me go to start taking salsa lessons. Yeah. And to think that now I run a salsa school is a bit like, what? But she kind of set me up, my parents set me up from a young age. So it only makes sense that I would be still dancing. And I don't foresee that changing at all for a long time. It'll always be a part of my life. I'll be the old granny in the corner with my cane yelling at students. Still looking glamorous, I hope.
Oh, 100%. And for what it's worth, I honestly do, and I say this really genuinely, your mother would be looking down with so much pride at what you've created and what you continue to create and what you continue to push. You know, how did being an entrepreneur and all of what comes with that, was that your upbringing? Was that dance? Was that a combination of both? Was that, so how, from what point did you go, I'm an artist, to I'm also a businesswoman? and a businesswoman,
I think dance has always been the solid, like it's what I know. So I feel solid in having a business based on something I've studied and, put my life into for such a long time. But I honestly think I'll take it back to my parents' work ethic and seeing them work their asses off from a young age. And my mom changed careers a lot too. Like she was kind of like boss bitch, and she was a flying instructor, and then she did this and she did that, and she did a lot of things and still juggled having us kids and taking us to our dancing,
How?
Yeah. And then she did all that in that short amount of time. So I'm like, I think honestly it's their work ethic that's kind of just been instilled in me in terms of just go for it. I still remember her making me go for job interviews that I was vastly underqualified for when I left university. Like, why not go and I think I studied photography and media and randomly at university. And she was like, why not go and apply for the forensics photography job in a police force or something? I was kind of like, hey, Mom. So I kind of always had that. Same with my horse riding. She was always a bit like, go on, like you can do it. Like,
so you rode horses a lot. So horses were very practical.
It was always it's like busy, hectic childhood of dancing and horses. And it was always competitive in both too, which is why I've probably been annoyingly in the competitive salsa scene for so long. Everyone's like, oh, not her again.
No, I don't think anyone says that at all.
I feel like it sometimes when I'm in 45.
I feel like everyone loves you though. Like I know for a fact there's a few that just find me so obnoxious and just like over the top, which you know what, honey, half the time, if I'm on, she's on, but everyone loves you.
Well, we'll see. I don't know about that. I won't agree with you. But yeah, it's like those things I think instilled a love of competition, a work ethic, like anything like that you can apply to your day to day. So I don't know. I'm just crazy like that. I love to work. Maybe my word before is not lovely. It's crazy, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. 100. Well, same. Let's call it. The biggest thing for me is growing up. While you did all that, were you popular? Did you have a lot of friends? What socially as a child, what were you like?
It's a good question. No, I was one of those kids that was kind of I was like in the choir and the dance group at a club.
You can sing?
I wouldn't go that far.
Can you sing for me now?
No.
I won't make
will attest to that. Like anybody that knows me will attest to that. Like I will sing, but maybe I'll need to have a few more wines. I wasn't like a nerd, but I wasn't like a cool kid. I was like in the middle kind of thing. And I had a few close friends, but I definitely wasn't popular.
Yeah.
I think I was well liked, and people kind of knew me as more the dance girl. And I tried to be quite academic. Like I didn't mind school. I was okay at school. Yeah.
Has anyone ever come back to you and been like, wow, you did really great for yourself, or I didn't really expect that? Or have people always kind of been like, no, that's her, yeah, from the start?
No one's really said it to me, but I got the vibe that they're like, oh, that's so cool that you're still dancing, because I was always kind of the dance kid, So I think I know some friends were with me when I first started salsa, and they came for one class. They're like, yeah, we came for one class, and then now you're off competing at world championships. Like, could have done it too. The same.
Well, 100% vibes though. 100% vibes. I didn't even take a class. Now, in terms of your career, was there a moment where you kind of went, this is it, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going? And if there was, can you describe that moment for me? With
the kind of light bulb moment, I guess I started La Encantada. I was just sitting in a hotel in Mexico. I think I said that. And I was like, I want to start this team, like classes for some ladies. Didn't think too much of it. I'm just going to give it a try. And I think the first course that I had, we had around 40 women sign up. And I was like, oh,
yes. Okay. There's the product, there's the demand.
But little old me was a bit like, oh, it's just me. Like, I don't know what I'm, you have this self-doubt moment. And we started and it just kind of grew from it.
How long ago was this?
2018.
Okay.
It was. So we started January 2018.
So you're telling me that being the incredible artist, businesswoman, dancer, artist that you are, you're still getting to points where you're like, I'm not.
Oh, 100% every day. Yeah. Nice.
So I ain't got nothing to look forward to is what you're telling me.
No, I still very much, I'm very confident some days, and other days it's like, is this going to work? What am I doing with my life? As I say.
How do you, for me, I find it's not difficult now, but it was to begin with, to separate because obviously as artists and as coaches and as teachers, we want to share our craft and we love it so much. But there are some days where I'm just, if I can't be there, I won't be there, if you know what I mean. But there are some days where I'm just like, and for you, how do you kind of wrap your head around all of that in regards to your career? What do you do on those days where you wake up and you're like, because our cups get emptied.
Yeah.
We're constantly just kind of blah, 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 blah. And then what do you do on those days where you wake up with the upbringing that you've had and the career that you've had? What do you do on those days?
Sometimes I'll have a meltdown.
and she says meltdown.
Sometimes it doesn't happen very often, but it's necessary. Like, you just need to be like, this is shit, I feel shit, and that's okay. I think we need to normalize that we don't need to be like on all the time. We're humans, which is why I'm happy to sit here and have a glass of wine on this, because I'm human and this is who I am. But yeah, we have
in the Hufflepuff jumper.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm not wearing Gryffindor, even though I didn't know what the color was.
No, but you said you've got Marvel underneath.
No, Game of Thrones. Game of
Thrones. Sorry.
Okay. I think I've created a studio that feels very nice to be in, and we have a community that's incredible to be a part of. And I think that's a huge part of, even if I drag my ass to the studio on the days where I feel like that, as soon as I'm there and I start and I see my students, and I always feel better at the end of that evening. It's them that get you through it, and it's them that's got me through this time. Like, my family and my students and my friends is what's getting me through this period at the moment. It's that community that we have. So yeah, but just normalizing that, like, we have this kind of facade that we put on, but
yeah, which to be honest, we do. And that's not to say that it's not 100% genuine. But there is a facade that has more adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's a version of us that has more adrenaline, more like, people can see me.
Yeah.
I felt very much like Jim Carrey in The Mask then, like,
I would say that I quite happily admit that I'm quite an extroverted introvert. So I struggle a lot in social situations where I don't know people, unless I'm the person that's meant to be running the class or emceeing or whatever, and you have to put it up.
In the last 5 minutes, you've literally told me that I've got nothing to look forward to in prolonging my career, because I do feel that way 100%. I stand in social situations and sometimes I'm like, don't turn on. But sometimes all it takes is for someone to introduce me as a dancer or introduce me as an artist, and people look at me with those eyes, and just suddenly I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Yes, like, hi. But it's almost, sometimes it's easier to step into that role,
It's a security bit sometimes.
which is a strange thing, but that's part of the reason that I find psychology so interesting, in the way that humans behave around each other or with ourselves. It's like, this is fascinating, this behavior, I think.
Oh, 100%. And then, and that just only even moves into like social media and everything
Oh
else.
yeah.
What in regards to your career, your life, all of that, what advice would you give someone that's wanting to do what you have done so far and continue to do what you're doing, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, what's worked is working very hard in the first place in dance, like growing yourself as an artist. So whether it's your own work, getting to competitions, getting to performances, getting people to know your name, I guess, through the right channels. So getting in front of
That takes time.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I started in salsa in 2009, I think. And, you know, I started, yeah, that's a long time, '09.
Yeah, that was so rude. I'm so sorry.
Were you in high school then?
I was in year 9. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, babe.
Problem I have working with Carlos all the time. He's like, where? What TV show? Yeah, but you know, it gives you an indication of like, it's taken me a long time to get to. I mean, that was the first step, is being recognized as an artist, I guess, and being respected for what you do and what you know.
How did it change after you came second at so many WODs comps, and how did it change when you started winning all of those national titles? You know, what was there an automatic sense of respect, or did you feel like it was kind of matching where you had pushed to?
I think it was validation a little bit in the national stuff. Like, I felt good about that. It was kind of cool that your hard work was paying off. People starting to get to know you a little bit in the scene, you know, because you're always there. She's in this division. Oh, she's in this division too. Oh God, she's here again.
Were you just doing everything?
I did a lot back in the day. Yeah, I used to do.
There's people watching this that are before my time that are going, Justin, you have no idea.
No, I was in like 9 divisions, and that's before Pro-Am started, you know. So, and then I think the game changer was when I traveled with the dancing, like going overseas and then competing, especially competing, as you know, like competing at the Worlds it's kind of really eye-opening to see so many different cultures coming together, and different styles, and
especially around a culture that's not like Western centric.
Yes, yeah.
I know that that's not the right wording for it, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. We're kind of like,
so many different types of people that go in terms of cultures, in terms of heritage, in terms of genders, in terms of sexuality. It's just such a mixing pot.
Yeah, which is what makes it so exciting. And like,
I was shitting myself. Exciting. I want to like, girl.
I mean, me too. But I feel the first time you kind of have your blinkers on a little bit of, you just don't know what to expect. And then when I came back, I just kind of found this new, it's kind of like this confidence, but also like it feeds your energy. So you're like, you want to do it again. It's like a little addiction, maybe. You know what's possible. And I would recommend that for any new dancers. When we can, travel as much as you can. And even for me, the last time I traveled overseas in 19, I think, you know, I was studying with Adolfo in Italy, and I came back really refreshed. And you were talking about filling your cup before. And I think that's so important for, especially someone that's at the head of a school or teaching classes, doesn't necessarily need to be exactly what you're teaching, but, you know, go do a jazz class, keep working on yourself, get new influences from wherever you can.
I'm constantly like, what's new to learn? Like,
yes, yeah.
it's constant. It's a constant. The more you know nothing at all.
100%. 100%. So,
what's one common myth about your career that you want to debunk?
Common myth. I think it's it's the whole crap about talent. Talent.
Thank you.
Like
They ain't no such thing, hun.
talent, like talent comes
Hard
from
work
I
and
started,
hard work.
I started when I was 3, and that's where my talents come from. It's been like yelled at and fixed in class for 16 years in ballet, and then having that doubled in salsa. So it's like, I mean, I don't know that necessarily people put you in that box, but it's you can't fast track technique. But I had this conversation the other day too, and I'll be the first to admit, I am a bit of a stickler for technique, and sometimes I forget about what we're doing, which is why it's been great working with someone like Carlos, or I was talking to Almendra about this, is like the balance of technique and flavor in what we do.
Yes.
So that's been a big learning curve for me, and bringing that element into my dancing, because coming from ballet, you don't necessarily use the word flavor.
No, you do not.
It's like artistry you would use as an alternate, which is very different to what we do now. So
yeah, I think the whole idea of having to be perfect can sometimes rot our brains as artists. And then there's also times where we take the rules a bit too far.
Yeah.
How has your career as an artist been different to what you imagined? Like completely, utterly everything gone?
Oh yeah, I mean, I could have potentially just been, finished uni, got married to someone in the country, and been worked just in a 9-to-5 job in design, or I don't know, which I kind of was doing for a little while. But to think now that I'm an owner of a big dance school in Melbourne, it's like, what? I would never have seen that coming. So a lot of people have trouble understanding that. Like, didn't you kind of plan to? I was like, no, I never planned to have a school. It just kind of organically happened.
Which is when the best things happen, especially as an artist. What does the future hold for you as an artist?
I still have some fuel in the tank that I want to compete again overseas.
Yes, she does. Get your life.
Why not?
And you were so close to world championships.
I don't really have the hunger of number one necessarily. It's just the experience for me is what I value. Of course everyone wants to win, but it's not like an end goal. If I don't get it, I'm like,
I'm also more about the journey. And to be honest, I actually would prefer not to compete. I like to perform.
Yeah. I like both. If I could do both still for a little while, a while longer, that would be great.
If I could only do one, I would choose perform, because I don't give a shit about competing. What do I need something to show someone? That's from my perspective, because of the fact that I don't get driven by I want to be the absolute best.
Yeah.
I'm more driven by.
I tend to agree with you on that. Like, comp, I guess, has been a good goal-driven thing, but yeah, I'm very much. I would prefer performance too. I don't know, in terms of artists, I think it's a nice way to be able to travel. To be able to see a bit more of the world through dance would be amazing.
Here we go with another round of Justin's dumb questions. You're heading into space against a maniac tyrant.
Okay.
With unstoppable powers, right? You're allowed 3 personal belongings for your journey.
You know what I'm going to pick? Wine.
Yeah.
Wine.
I thought wine was taking up 2 spaces.
No, wine. Let's take some moisturizer.
Love it.
And I'm going to take my phone so I can call home.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right. Congratulations. You're going to ship off and face a maniac tyrant with unstoppable powers. And because of what you just said, you're able to now do that. And I hope you enjoy that consequence of your actions.
I'm also part of that team.
Yeah, the first person. All right. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Cats.
Yeah, 100%.
Assholes.
What's the most useless word?
Can't.
Oh, I love that. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten?
Ooh. Tongue. Ugh. Never again.
And we're not talking about your wedding day.
No, I'm talking about cow tongue. Ugh. No, thank you.
Oh my God. All right. Wow. Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Serious question.
Ooh.
As a dancer, where is the most embarrassing place you've farted?
Recently in the gym.
How did that go down?
My friend laughed at me. I was doing abs and it was just like
It happened.
I had a weighted heavy ball and it just happened and I just went bright red. As you can tell, my face doesn't hide anything.
That same.
Yeah, but I don't recall actually during a dance related thing, but yeah, that happened at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
Yep, it happens.
It does happen. My favorite one was when I was lifting my dance partner up and I was pushing down on her abdomen, and she literally machine gun farted her way up. Like it was just, and the biggest thing for me is people think dance is glamorous. And I'm like, name me another sport where someone can fart on you and you've got to pretend like nothing happened. Like, you know?
No, I think, yeah, some of the positions you find yourself in and accidents, and it's just like, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah. In terms of wrapping it up, because that's what we are doing, and I've had a lot of wine. Where can we find you? Tell the children your socials.
You can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I think Instagram, I'm Elysia Baker, at Elysia Baker. Facebook, I'm Elysia Mangier, a little bit more fabulous. Or Lancantada. It's been such a great evening with you. Thank you for having me. I feel very special to be your guest.
Great throwback. We loves it. So thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. To everyone at home who's been watching, I'm so excited for you to see this beautiful woman and everyone else that I have coming up. It's really just kind of a celebration of some of the artists that I know and some people that I truly respect and look up to, and whose work I just look at and go, that's cool. This has been Lockdown Lovin'. Babe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys, we'll see you soon. Keep surfing them waves. Keep looking so good. I don't know where this is going, but we're going to see you soon. All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.